All right, so there have been a lot of head coaching moves going on and everything, and some of the top tier teams have kind of fallen off a little bit, maybe. Who knows? But we actually have a Ravens fan here to talk some Ravens football, and we are so excited about that because, especially for me, there's a former Titan on the Ravens team. So it's going to be a fun time. So if you are interested in that, stick around. We're hitting that intro in a three, a two, a one.
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Jose here at the First Round Vice Show, where we bring you all football all the time. Sauce, what is going on, my friend?
Man, I'm feeling good because we got another warm body still here. We haven't scared him off just yet. I did drop my Sin City Raiders, and he's still around. So I really appreciate that, definitely, because that always takes everybody by surprise.
Oh,
But
don't forget, you also showed him like your feet or
I
something
did,
like before we started recording.
I did.
Maybe not his feet, but his shoes.
Yeah, so you can find feet pics over at onlyfans.com/sauceisboss. I'm
Oh,
just kidding. Imagine I actually go and make one after this. That'd be so hilarious. But we got JJ back again. Sportstown Network. What is up, my man?
not much. I'm ready to talk some Ravens football. I've actually been wanting to talk Ravens for a long time, so I'm excited. After one of the biggest heartbreaks in about a year
That's
that
right.
happened, I've been
So
wanting to talk with the Ravens for a while.
so one of the first things I always like to ask guests whenever it happens that we talk about their favorite team and everything, what in the world made you a Ravens fan?
Well, when Lamar Jackson got drafted, I was like, I'm a Ravens fan. Um, that's the main reason why.
So did you just find that wagon and just say, you know what, here we go?
Yeah, basically, yeah. So I was like, you know what? Because obviously I'm a Louisville fan, right? And watching Lamar Jackson at Louisville was like amazing.
Oh yeah.
Even back then, I think he was underrated as a quarterback at Louisville. But like, he made that team. I've been a Louisville fan for a while, but like back in the Big East days. But like, Louisville was very average without Lamar Jackson, and he made them so much. Like, he made them a contender during the 2.5 years he started. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna follow him to Baltimore. I'm all in on the Ravens. So that's kind of how I became a Ravens fan. And obviously, as I mentioned earlier, I became a Louisville fan because of the uniforms. I do think the Ravens have one of the best uniforms in football. One of the best.
I can agree
Hold
with
on, hold
that.
on. Let me ask you this.
Oh, here we
So
go.
what happens?
Oh, here we go.
Here we go. No. It's a good one. It's a good one. So what happens if Lamar leaves, gets traded, or whatever? Like, are you following him, or are you sticking with the Ravens?
Oof.
Honestly, I don't think I have to worry about that because I don't think he's getting traded. I think he's going to be there at least another 10 years. I'm fully confident in
Don't
that.
you think they're giving him the keys to the city or something?
I think so. They should. But he did the last few years. I mean, like go
So
back to 2019.
so do you think that there was
So
any legs at all to that rumor of him possibly getting traded, or were you pretty confident the whole time that he was staying put?
I was pretty confident he was going to stay put because I mean, we saw that back. I don't know if you guys remember, but after, was it 2022, he got hurt
Hmm.
and the whole contract situation came up.
Oh yeah, I
And
remember that.
there was, yeah, it was amazing. That was 3 years ago. And there was talks that,
Yeah.
oh, he's going to get traded.
That's
Wants a
wild.
fully guaranteed contract. I don't think that was fully true. I just think he wanted more guaranteed money than Deshaun Watson. And for some reason, like, the media loves to hype that train where they're going to trade him. I think at the end of the day, the reason why the Ravens moved on from Harbaugh was because Lamar Jackson wanted something new. So, like, they wouldn't have done that if they're going to get rid of Lamar. Just
Man,
saying.
that sounds
But
like Lamar is kind of on the level because I know that Josh Allen was in on the interviews and stuff for the Bills head coaching part and everything. So I guess once you get to that level, which honestly that speaks to the work that Lamar's put in because he's definitely a different quarterback than who he was whenever he first came into the league and everything. So.
yeah.
How are you feeling about that situation? You guys got a new head coach and everything. Were you a Harbaugh stan or not really or nope?
Yeah, it was time to move on. Harbaugh was a good coach, but I think there was multiple times, and again, I'm a Lamar Jackson glazer. I will admit to that.
Would you
But
say
if you
Glazer or
remember,
Stan? Which one would be more appropriate?
Glazer for me.
At least he's honest. I like it.
I like it.
But I don't know if you remember 2018, the Ravens are 4-5 with Joe Flacco, and they're like, you know what? Let's put Lamar in because Harbaugh was likely going to get fired because they had missed the playoffs 3 straight years.
Yep.
2 of those 3 years were losing seasons. Lamar comes in, and all of a sudden they go 10-6, make it to the playoffs for the first time in like 4 years. Excuse me. Then in 2019, they go 14-2. Yeah, it didn't end well because your Titans kicked our butts. And Derrick Henry made Earl Thomas a blocker instead of a defender.
That's right. I remember that very vividly.
Yeah, that was heartbreaking.
That's all right. You guys still got the last laugh. You guys ended up winning that damn Super Bowl.
I wish we won a Super Bowl. The next year, though, we won a playoff game, and then we got close again. But, like, there were multiple times. 2018, he should have gotten fired. Lamar saved him. 2021? They're 8-3. Lamar gets hurt, and they don't win a single game after that. And then in 2023, he probably was on his way to getting fired again, but then they go 13-4. And obviously, the defense was a huge part of that because they finally actually had a defense to compare with Lamar.
Right.
But there was multiple times, and I think it was just time to go because if you're a coach for that long, eventually it's going to get stale. And he only had 1 Super Bowl. I just think it was time to go. Harbaugh was a good coach, but it was time to move on. And I do like the hire of Jesse Minter. I would have rather had Flores, but I think Jesse Minter is a lot like Mike McDonald. And we made a huge mistake on getting rid of him or letting him go, I should say.
Yep. Yeah, that is tough. So do you remain pretty optimistic about the future for the offense and for Lamar and just the Ravens in general?
I do, because we still have Derrick Henry. Obviously, we still have Lamar. I think Zay Flowers has gotten better the last 2 years. I think he's finally developed into a number 1. I'm not a fan of us extending Mark Andrews, and we're probably going to let Charlie Colder and Isaiah Likely walk. That's going to really bad.
Likely is likely to walk.
Yeah.
Very underrated tight end, by the way.
Oh yeah.
I know, like
underutilized as well.
We actually talked about him. He was like the biggest topic of our conversation. I think it was the first game of last season, Jose.
Oh yeah, you got like 3 touchdowns or some shit.
Yeah, we were talking about how, because I mean at the time it looked like they were going to be unstoppable because I mean you had Likely and then you had Mark Andrews and everything. You got all these different weapons on offense and everything, and it's just like, and then just things started falling off because guess what? It always starts and ends with what? The quarterback. Yeah. But
it also helps if you have a defense that can
100%, dude. They couldn't stop a runny nose.
Yeah. And imagine if we didn't even have Kyle Hamilton. Like, teams would probably be putting 100 on us.
Like they do with the Bengals.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
Just getting in shootouts every single game. So,
yeah.
So, what do you think the offense is going to look like under the new head coach and everything? Because I know that. So it was really weird. So last year I've been in a pick'em league for like the last 2 or 3 years or so, and usually anytime the Ravens, so you could always reuse teams. So if I wanted to pick the Ravens every week, I could. And spoiler alert, I pick the Titans almost every week to lose, just because I already do. But there's a few weeks it was kind of crazy because I was like, man, like I'm used to the Ravens just absolutely like dog walking everybody, and now even with Lamar coming back for a few games and everything, they just did not look the same. They didn't have the same firepower. They didn't have the same oomph. And I had Zay Flowers on my fantasy team, and his inconsistencies, mostly with the quarterback play and everything, man, that tore me up because I'd see that Lamar was back, and I was like, hell yeah, I'm gonna start Zay, and then he would get like 3 receptions for like 22 yards. I'm like, come on now. And then literally whenever I'd bench him, of course he'd go off for like 8 catches, 150 yards, and 3 touchdowns or whatever. And I'm like, bruh.
Well, wasn't there like a stretch? Go ahead, bro.
Sorry. I think he saw you, and every time he benches like, yes, I'm gonna do well now.
That's literally how I feel every single time. I'm like, man, I guarantee you, they're like, oh, this dude from Oklahoma is over there starting me. Pfft, nah, I'm gonna put up a goose egg on him.
Ripperooskies.
Brewskis
No,
indeed.
but I was gonna say, wasn't there like a, what am I trying to say? Like a stretch of games where like even Derrick Henry was kind of like being shut out. Like he wasn't really producing a whole lot either, wasn't he?
Yeah, there were some games, especially. I know when Lamar got hurt against the Chiefs, there was a game against the Texans where he did not do much at all. There was like at least 3 straight weeks, and each of those 3 weeks they were blowouts because Lamar didn't play, and obviously they didn't use Derrick Henry because I think Cooper Rush was the quarterback for some reason. That was a terrible signing, but and then toward the end, Derrick Henry went off
Yeah.
because we're like, oh yeah, we have Derrick Henry, let's use him more.
Oh yeah.
Obviously.
Trust me, I have felt that way for a long time. Whenever he was in Tennessee, there one of the main reason why fans kind of turned on Vrabel was because like whenever it came to his usage of Derrick Henry, he would and Jose's kind of already feeling this with the Ramondre Stevenson and Travion Henderson over there because like that it would always piss me off whenever he'd throw in either DeMarco Murray or just anybody else, and it's just like, bro, you've got this generational running back, and you just refuse to use him, and it's maddening, especially since everybody was saying that Derrick Henry once, and I was not one of these people. I've always been a huge Derrick Henry fan, but I saw a bunch of fans. It was mostly just Cope. Whenever he left the Titans and went to the Ravens. For one, they hated it because went to the Ravens. You know, that's where all the former Titans go to become villains and everything. But like McNair, Roll, Derek Mason, a bunch of them. But it was just maddening because everybody's like, "Oh yeah, well Derrick Henry's about to fall off a cliff anyway." So, and here we are, a few seasons later, still one of the top running backs in the whole league. And I can, what's his age? He's over 30, isn't he?
I think he's a 32.
Yeah,
And
he's been
he's
in the league
he's
since 2016.
and he's doesn't look like he has any signs of slowing down at all. He still looks like a premier running back.
Yeah. And yeah, there'll be like stretches, even with the Ravens, where he'll have a few weeks where he won't play well,
Mhm.
and then all of a sudden, like the next 2 weeks, he like rushes for 200 yards both times. Like
Yep.
it sometimes that's the way he works.
Yeah, it's weird, man.
Are you on any like? Do you follow any like Reddit pages or message boards or anything like that for the Ravens at all?
I don't, but I'm on.
Uh
Excuse
oh.
me. I'm on Reddit a few times. Like I'm on Reddit almost every day, like checking to see what the updates are and stuff like that. So I'm
Interesting.
not necessarily on a page, but I'm on Reddit a lot, looking up stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm on a Titans fan message board and everything, and one of the things that was always cracking me up is that like kind of like what you were talking about, how he was a little bit inconsistent this year, and so like so they started a thread of like, is Derrick Henry going downhill? And so after every single game where he would only get like 40 or 50 yards or something, they'd be like, see, look, he's done, and then literally the next week he would go off for like 200 yards, and I'm like, you guys, like, quit trying to take your victory lap already. Like, dude's on his way to the Hall of Fame. Like,
Yeah.
Dude, that actually reminds me. I remember, I think it was the game against the Chiefs, the very first, like his very first game where he didn't really, he was all right. He didn't have like a groundbreaking game, right? But they were talking about, oh, we made the smart choice of not bringing him back. And then like 2 weeks later against the Cowboys, he rushes for like 200 yards. And
yep,
you heard nothing from him.
it's insane, man. So, do you think that he's going to start slowing down this year or next year or ever? You think he's going to be running his way into the record books still at even like 45?
I mean, every year we say like he's gonna fall off, but every year he does the exact same thing. So
Yeah.
like, sorry, I'm dealing with a cold right now, but I don't think he is. Now again, Declan Doyle is the new offensive coordinator, so I'm not sure how he's gonna use him and stuff. But if he was smart, he would stay with the offense the way it's constructed, just
Right.
refiguring the offensive line a little bit. Um, but I don't think so. Like my bet is he's gonna do almost the same exact thing he's done the last 2 years. Now last year he slowed down a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
but he did in 2024, and he was probably I mean, he's still a top 3 running back. I mean, would you still say it's him and Barkley? That's what I would say. So I don't think he's gonna fall off. I think
I think
we're
it's
gonna
him and
probably see the
McCaffrey.
same exact thing when he's healthy. Yeah,
Yeah. Actually,
it
that is
depends.
interesting because we're also kind of overlooking Gibbs,
Yeah,
Robinson,
Achan.
Achan.
Yeah. But I
That's
still would honestly, I would still take Derrick Henry over most of them.
yeah.
You know that'd
And like
be an
imagine
interesting exercise at some point. We'll have to bring you back on and do a who would you rather take? I don't know if you've seen that trend on TikTok, but it's like stop me whenever you, or I can name 5 running backs better than this person, or I can name 10 running backs better than this person. Stuff. I don't know if you've seen that or not.
yeah, it's on my For You page all the time.
Yeah, that's just really fun. But yeah, so and you said that so I'm actually a really big fan of Zay Flowers. Whenever he was a rookie, I actually really wanted the Titans to draft him. We were heavily looking into him. I can't remember who we ended up taking instead, but I was so mad whenever he went to the Ravens because I was just like, man, because he's dynamic, he's got the speed, he's got the catching ability. He's just a really good wide receiver, and he was just very inconsistent in college and everything. So, but I really like him, and I think that he's going to continue to step up. I think that he's still relatively young too, because yeah, he might be like what 23, 24, if even that.
Who, Flowers?
Yeah,
I think he's
Seems like
25,
26.
isn't he?
25.
He's 20 something. That's how we know.
He's 20 something. But yeah, so you do think that he's going to continue to ascend?
I think so because the last 2 years, he's had over 1,000 yards, and I don't think you'd probably have to go back to like Derek Mason, the last time a receiver for the Ravens. Not just, I guess Mark Andrews has done it before, but
Right.
actually I don't know if he's done it or not. But like a receiver, an actual receiver to have back-to-back 1,000 yards, you'd have to probably go back to Derek Mason for the Ravens. So I think he's going to continue to sign. Again, it all depends on how the offense looks with Declan Doyle.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he's developed into a number 1 receiver, and I think it's only going to go up for Zay. Like I know at times he has, you know, he has those days where games where he'll just disappear for a few weeks. But
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you remember Marquise Brown, he was actually a lot worse on that. Like where he would have
Yeah.
2 good games and then 10 stretches of bad games, and
Oh
then
yeah.
3 good games, and yeah. So I think he's going to continue to ascend. That would be a safe bet, I think.
You know what's crazy? I feel like Zay Flowers and Hollywood Brown are like the same player, but like Zay Flowers is an improved player
Improved version of him?
Brown. They're like the
Yeah.
same. I feel like I don't know, the route running is very similar. They're like they have very similar styles of play. So
They really do. They really do. Yeah.
Yeah, and like Marquise Brown was kind of weird like that, where he would play really well in prime time, but if it was a Sunday game at 1 o'clock, most likely he wasn't gonna be around.
Right.
It was weird like that.
Oh yeah. So is there anybody that you feel like the Ravens are going to be targeting in free agency?
There's 2 positions I wish we would upgrade, and that would be a pass rusher, maybe 2 pass rushers,
Mhm.
and an offensive line. Like I think, as you guys know, Daniel Falele was one of the worst offensive linemen in football. Like he was
Yes.
terrible.
Yes.
At times, I think he was playing for the other team. He was that bad. But obviously, I think we'll have to, draft an offensive line because there's not really anything available in free agency. But I would love to trade for Max Crosby. I know we're not going to do that. But if we could sign 2 good pass rushers, maybe just one and then draft one later, but pass rush and offensive line, and then possibly redo our secondary, because outside of Nate Wiggins,
Mhm.
Marlon Humphrey is just not that guy anymore.
Yeah. No, for sure. For sure. No, I feel you on that, man. I know that we have. I also have a free agency wish list, and kind of like everybody else, I'm sure that everybody just wants every single player to just sign with their team, and then they get all frustrated whenever that doesn't happen and stuff. But I do honestly, I do think that the Ravens are gonna do a lot better next year. I think that they are trending in the right direction and everything. And I mean,
A new
obviously
kicker too.
you probably follow them a whole lot more than I do, but yeah. So if you're feeling confident in them and everything, seem like a pretty sharp guy. So I'll uh, I'll continue to try to pick him in my pick'em league next year.
So this is my wish list for the Ravens, like to upgrade a position. So
Okay.
excuse me, I thought I got rid of my goal, but obviously I did. But like restructure the offensive line. I would like us to draft an offensive tackle, completely restructure the offensive line, get rid of Ronnie Stanley, get rid of Daniel Falele, get a true number 2 receiver because unfortunately I don't think Rashad Bateman is that guy anymore. I might be
Correct.
wrong. I think we could trade him, but I think we need to move on. Obviously, we're going to lose 2 tight ends in free agency, so we need to upgrade that position eventually. But offensive line, pass rush, get a number 2 corner because I think we need to move on from Marlon Humphrey,
Mm-hmm.
and then possibly another linebacker. But the thing is we need an offensive line, pass rusher, and a number 2 receiver.
You got it down.
And a kicker.
You got it down, man.
You know what draft pick they have?
I believe it's 14.
That's pretty juicy. You can get a good receiver at 14.
Oh yeah, I'm sure that somebody's
I-
gonna fall.
I think we can wait on a receiver in like the second round, but I would love to get just a complete new offensive line outside of
Yeah.
our left
Yeah,
tackle.
you got to fix the trenches before anything else, because if you can't protect the quarterback or run the ball, then you're gonna be in for a long ride.
Just ask Drake May.
Drake May.
That's right.
That's right. Alrighty. So, do you have anything anything else for us, Ravens wise? I got to start wrapping this up because my wife is giving me the evil eye. So,
Well, I like the hire of Jesse Minter. Obviously Brian
Yeah.
Flores would have been the home run pick, but I still think Jesse Minter is a great hire. I think he's a lot like Mike McDonald, at least reading from all the information and stuff. And I'm pretty confident he can, outside of Kyle Hamilton, hopefully Meta BK comes back healthy next year or this year, but I'm pretty confident that he can fix that defense and turn it to what it was 3 years ago now.
excellent. Yeah, no, I mean, that honestly sounds like a very fair assessment of the team and everything and where they're at. So, it's very surprising too, because you don't see a lot of Ravens fans that are actually like that. A lot of them are like, "No, we definitely should have won." Yeah, like that. A little bit of overconfidence and stuff. But you seem pretty
Well, I mean,
realistic.
If we had a kicker, we would have beaten the Steelers, obviously.
Yeah,
Ooh.
no, seriously. That was one of the worst outcomes and worst games that I've seen in a while. Because, sorry, Memo, but I do not like the Steelers, so I was really hoping that the Ravens were gonna pull that out. But
Sorry, this is my last thing I think I'll say. The
you're
last
good.
3 or 4 years, we have had the biggest heartbreaks of all time. You had the miss field goal. Mark Andrews dropping a wide open pass, and for some reason, DaCosta was like, "Oh yeah, we need to bring him back." The Zay Flowers fumble, the Tyler Huntley fumble, like worst ways to end like the season. The worst.
Sounds like the Ravens got almost as bad of luck as Jose does in fantasy.
Oof, and that's pretty damn bad.
Catching strays over here.
Damn, I can't even argue with that one.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty bad for both of us, to be honest. So, but we kind of
Yeah.
trade off with bad luck. So, all right, Jose, I'll start off with you so that we can let our wonderful guest have the last laugh. So, you got anything else for our lovely viewers?
Per usual, thank you guys so much for watching. Hit the subscribe button if you are new to the channel. We do all football all the time. Thank you so much for JJ for hopping on the show. We hope to see him back on hopefully soon. Talk some more football. But really, that's all I got. Thank you guys so much.
All right, JJ, you already know the drill. Sell yourself, my man.
Yeah, go check out Sportstown Network. I'm on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram. I try to post, excuse me, I don't post every day like I used to, but I try to post something, sports content, mostly football and basketball, but I do a little bit baseball. I'm gonna try to do something about the Winter Olympics. It's pretty much over, but go USA, team
It's
hockey.
awesome.
So, but yeah, go check me out, Sportstown Network, and yeah, you can pretty much find me on any media platform. I'm not really on Twitter anymore, but again, TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram are the big ones.
Yep, that's honestly that's pretty much how we are as well. We have links to all of our socials in the description box below. Obviously, we'll put some links for JJ on there as well. That way, you guys can go check them out. Please check them out. Anytime we have a guest on, please make sure to show them some love too. They always come in and bring some good conversation and everything. It's always a fun time, and definitely going to be bringing JJ back whenever we get a chance to and stuff. So, with all that being said, please make sure you drop a like, comment down below, subscribe, help us out in the algorithm, get us some views and everything. Subscribe, join the community. We got some cool things coming up, and I know that everybody says that, but we do actually have some cool things coming up. So, with all that being said, catch you guys in the next one.
Peace.